Hi everybody and welcome back to our purple Flippy Flappy. This is where we got to yesterday. So we've made a really good start. But I did tell you I had some things coming from Amazon, and one of them was this Stamperia Provence 8x8 papers. And they're gorgeous. I mean, they're just perfect to go with what we're doing, and you get bits of ephemera with them, which is really what I was after, to be honest. Look at that page, it's lovely. And I have already cut a couple of pages up into the ephemera, so I've got some nice bits to go at. I also got a pack of chipboard. This is all they had that they could deliver the next day, so I haven't got any sort of cardboard ephemera. I've got the chipboard pieces, and they're beautiful. There's some lovely bits, and we've built in quite thick spines into our book, so we'll be all right with the chipboard pieces. We can accommodate those. I actually ordered 2 packs of these, and when the other one came, all the cellophane down both sides was open, and there was only half the number of pieces in there that there should have been, so it's getting sent back to Amazon. Right, so what have I done? Well, the only thing that I've done with regards to the base is I've put this little bit of decoration on, and I did that before the Amazon man came, and I was just itching to do some decoration. So what I did was I just used my 2-inch punch, and this is just copier paper, it's just white copier paper, and one of my fussy cut butterflies. Possibly that one, I think. And I'm going to put that on there, but before I do, I'm going to stamp it. Just take that plain whiteness away. So what did I do with the stamp? Ah, here it is. It's on this one. But I did off stamp. I stamped the first one off and used the second impression or whatever. There's a word for it, I know, but I can't remember what it is. So I'm using my archival ink in Dusty Concord, ink that up, stamp it off once onto something else, then stamp it onto here. So you just get a slightly fainter impression, I suppose. So I just want that top bit, so stamp that off and then stamp onto there. That's it. That's great. That's all I wanted, just something to take the plainness away, and then I'm going to ink around the edge, but quite carefully. I don't want thick line of ink around the edge. Whoa, whoa, everything's going flying. Where's my purple? There it is. So yeah, just quite carefully, just around the edge. And it's just a nice way of making homemade bits of, decoration, really, rather than using the expensive Stamperia pieces. There we go. Right. So I'm going to stick that onto the top Flippy Flappy. Fairly central about there. And then I'm going to put the butterfly on top like that. And there we have it. A nice little thing for like no money. I like that. I like the idea of no money. Where's my glue? It's here. So at first I thought I wasn't going to be awfully keen on this purple, that it was going to be a bit too much, but it's definitely growing on me, and actually I really quite like it now. So there's the glue on that. So I want it facing me. This is the flip flap, but I want it facing me. Blimey. Let's see, I want it fairly central. About there, I think. That's looking good to me. Just give that a bit of a press down. There we are. And then just the butterfly. So I hope you're all doing well. I wonder how many of you are up to this stage and sort of waiting for today's video to proceed. I hope I'm not holding anybody back. Let's just pop that on there, just like that. And there we have it, a really, really pretty, attractive bit of decoration. Easy as you like, but looks very effective. Right, so what I wanted to do next was, somebody was asking if you could round the corners, and I presume she meant on the Flippy Flappies. Yes, you can round them, but what I want to do with mine is, I've made, oh, come here. I made two little books, just two little notebooks. This is just some of that printed paper that I had. Any paper that you've got will do. Even the card itself will do, but I use paper because I wanted to introduce a lighter element, and I think that's really pretty. It's just white copier paper in here, because white goes. I think coffee stain paper, it would just be a bit dark. So I've made this so it fits in that belly band, and it fits in between the lines of stitching actually. So you could round it, but be careful, because you don't want to see the, help if you could see what I was talking about. That's going to go in there. So if you round that too much, you'll see the corner of your notebook sticking out. So just be careful. If you want to round it, you certainly can, but just bear in mind what's going in there. I have stitched around the cover of this notebook, and it just fits in there perfectly, like that. I'm not going to take time out to show you how to make notebooks. I'm pretty sure all of you know. So it's just a really easy one with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And that's going to fit in there. And that's going to introduce for us lots of journaling space, which is excellent. So that fits in there like that. So already it's kind of lightening up a little bit. So onto the back of this Flippy Flappy here, I wanted to put what I put in the other ones, which is 2 envelopes. Now I made mine on my teeny tiny envelope board. They are 3 by 3. If you don't have an envelope board, I'm pretty sure you know how to make envelopes where you just fold the bottom up and the top down, and that will be fine. That'll be enough. And inside each envelope I have put just a piece of journaling, just that. But you know, it's quite a good bit of journaling really. And that goes in there. And we need something for a stop, but I'll work on that. And I want to just put these on here, maybe slightly closer together like that. Yeah, like that. So I think we can go ahead and do that now. So where am I going to put them? About there. That would give us quite a lot of space at the top. Yeah, it looks nice. Looks nice. Let's do it. So once again, I couldn't tell you where this paper came from. It was just some paper that I had, that I found when I looked through the downloads file of my computer, of my MacBook. I've got all sorts of things in there, most of which I've downloaded and thought, oh, I'll always remember that's what it's called. Of course you don't. Then it gets lost and you never see it again. So I opened up loads of files that I haven't been in for ages. I'm just going to drop that down just below where that pocket starts and place it in between those stitched lines that I've made. So there we go. That's that. Just get this and give it a good push down. Lovely. Same with this one. Linda reminded me yesterday that I had some purple papers that we made one of the small Flippy flaps with. I think it was last summer. And it's by Janie B. Journals. It's called Mountainside, and it's got lovely purple tartans in it and stuff. So I might see if I can find that and print it out, because they were beautiful papers actually. So I want this just above where that pocket is situated, where this pocket is what I'm talking about. Maybe just up a little bit to there. Yeah, that's fine. I like that. Let's get my towel because I've moved it. I've got a bit of glue there. Give this a good press down. Make sure it's firmly affixed. Some people leave, put the envelope on as a pocket so you've got space behind it. I'm not doing that. I think we've got enough on this little flappy bit already. I don't think we need to put another pocket in. I think we're okay at that. So it's beginning to look quite nice. So I just need something to put along there to stop the envelope flap coming open. I've got, from my Stamperia pad, I've got these little bits sort of washi, and I think they would work quite well. What about that one? That's nice. Let's use that. So I want it to be about there. So let's see what that measures. So I can tell you it measures 2 inches. So let's chop off 2 bits that are 2 inches long. If you are in my Miss Paint a Lot Junk Journal group on Facebook and you're doing this, perhaps you'd like to share your photos. I'd absolutely love to see how anybody is progressing, and if the instructions I'm giving you are actually good enough for you to follow along. I'd be devastated if they weren't, but I appreciate that they might not be. I'm trying to give you as much information as I can as we go along. There we are, so that'll just stick there. Yeah, that looks pretty. Looks pretty. I'm hoping everybody that is in Florida is safe from these storms. I think Fort Lauderdale might have been the sort of epicenter of it, but wherever you are, if you're in Florida, I hope wherever you are, I hope you're safe. Of course I do. But with particular interest to the Floridians, because I know they've been having a rough time with the weather. Poor Jania got stuck in an airport in New York yesterday because she couldn't fly home to Fort Lauderdale. She was stuck there for hours and still on duty. Poor girl. There we go. So that just fits down into there. So you just bend it up and tuck it in, and it's easy peasy, and it keeps that in place, which is what we want. So Mr. F's gone off shopping today. Where does this go? About there? About there. Does that look anyway straight? No, it doesn't. We'll leave it there. It's about right. Okay. Yeah, he's gone off grocery shopping with his shopping list. It's strange that since I've had this new monitor, so that's that. It's all looking very nice, isn't it? Or is it just me? So when you turn that over, we need to put something onto this side. And what I think I'm going to put on this side is what I put on all the other ones I've made, which is 2 frames. with something behind. Not exactly sure what's going behind yet, so maybe I should deal with what's going behind before I look at the frames. It's quite nice. Don't know. No, they're quite nice. I could make a frame with those behind it. Don't know. What's in my bag of goodies? Where is my? Here it is. Let's have a look and see what we've got. They're too large. Flowers, very nice. Perfume bottle, that's nice. Smaller perfume bottle, but it's on a circle. Some ovals, a heart. I love hearts. Are these two butter? Oh no, that's on a circle. Circle. Nothing particularly great for going behind a frame, but that will not deter. Oh, hang on, I've got two butterflies. I've got two butterflies. I could use those. They're maybe a little bit small for what I wanted, if I'm honest with you. Shall I try and get those back in the bag? I think so, because they're going to get lost on my desk. Otherwise, we all know that. It's a given. But I'm glad to have had a look through there. Now we know what we've got and what's available to us. So right, let's seal that up. And these bits of ephemera, I'll just keep there and hope that they don't get lost. So what I'm thinking is that if you remember yesterday when I showed you the papers I'd printed out, I actually had printed out a sheet of butterflies. Yeah, here it is, right on the bottom, of course. So they're perfect. And I think probably that middle size will do us fine. So I'm sure you've got your own stash of buttercups. I nearly said butterflies that you use for fussy cutting. I think that's fine. I think that's great. So I need to fussy cut a couple of these. This is just decoration. If you want to do anything else, put a pocket on it, anything. It's your journal. You go ahead and do what you want. I'm just showing you how I decorated my last journal, how I made it and how I decorated it, just for inspiration. But you don't have to, of course you don't have to copy what I do. If you like lace, if you're one of these people that likes lace and bling, etc., this would be a lovely journal to add lace to. You know, it's very feminine, and so lace would go well. But I'm not a lacy person. I used to try and force myself into being lacy and use lace on projects, but it's just not me, so I'm not doing it. I think I'll pause you, because I'm quite sure you do not need to see me fussy cut out two of these. So I'll save your time. Just chopped his head off there. It was purposely. So I'll pause you there and I'll come back when I've got these done. Okay, so I've cut my butterflies out, and what I want now is to make two frames for them. It's going to fit in there with acetate and blah blah blah. Yeah, everything's looking okay. We need to make our two pockets. Let me just pop those there. Remind me where I've put them. Two pockets for this central section here, and I think the spotties will be good. Where else did I use the spotties? I don't know. So what I've done is I've cut this down to the width that will just fit into that pocket, and then push it right down to the bottom and make a mark. And that's where you want to cut it off, so it will be flush along the top, which is what I want. You might want yours differently. I can't legislate for all the differences that people might want to introduce, so I'll just say what I do, and then it's up to you what you do. So let's cut that off there. And then we'll do the same with the top one, because you can't assume that they are the same. I have learned. So that's that one. And then this one, let's just slide that in. That's that. Make a mark and we'll cut that one off. Then we'll see how similar they are, because it all depends on how much glue and stuff you've used, how much it's squelched. That's there. Lovely. And I was going to use that for the frames. It's not enough now. Huh. Oh well. So that this one should go in here, all the way in. Nice and flush. Perfect. And this one should go in here. Nice and flush. Perfect. That's great, but you know, you wouldn't notice them if you didn't know they were there. So I'm going to add something to them to give them a bit of pizzazz. And it's at this stage now that you can round. You can round your corners, because nothing, you know, it'll help it slip in and out, and there's nothing going sort of on it that's going to depend on it being square. So I'm just using the 1/4 inch side. I don't want it too big. So that's that one. Do this one. Just helps it slip in and out more readily. There we go. Shut that up. Now then, I want something hanging off it. I'm really liking having very decorated tags at the minute. Journaling cards, you know, with bits coming over the pocket. So what have I got that I can add? I've got these 2 bits. They're nice. They would fit there beautifully, actually. Yeah, I really like those. That's probably sufficient, actually. Probably is sufficient. So I'm going to use my crocodile, but I'm going to use the small hole on it, and I'm just going to make a mark where I need to cut it. Put my hole, I should say, because otherwise I get, I don't know, I go wrong if I don't make a mark. I go wrong sometimes when I have made a mark. So let's just, there we go. So it's just the little hole, and I'm not putting an eyelet or anything in it. So, gosh, those two are remarkably similar, if not identical. And they are just short of 5.5. So let's see where the centre is. Is there, I think. So let's just make a mark there. I bet you I can't see that, so let's make it a bit bigger. And just go through both of these. No, I can't see my mark. Oh yeah, I can. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to use my regular twine that I always use on everything. I haven't got any white twine. If you have, having said that, you know, I might somewhere. Let me just pause you while I go searching. Yes, I've got this white twine that came with a load of labels that I bought. Perfect. The white is so much better. I like that so much more. So let's just take one at a time, pass that through the hole we've made. The end of this is all frayed, so I'm going to have to glue it. have to glue it before I do it. A little bit of glue on your finger and just roll that through so it stays together and doesn't fray. Lovely. So let's go through one of our, I've got two there I think, yeah, just through one of our little things and then out through there, and then I'm just going to tie that off. I'm going to try to tie it off. I haven't got a thumb that's functioning. That's my excuse anyway. The one where I lost the nail is still not quite right. So that's lovely. That's great. That's all I wanted. So let's pull these individually, and you get them tighter if you pull them one by one. There we go. Trim the ends off that. It's these little things, I think, like, you know, the white twine, etc., that it just makes a difference. Just looks like you cared. So, oh, I haven't inked around it. Silly moo. Silly Billy. And on the back, there's journaling. So, you know, even in this little space that is highly decorative, there is still journaling space, which is excellent. Not so much on the back of there, that doesn't matter. This is purely decoration. So that's going to pop into there, like that. And now you know that there's something in there because there's a tag coming out. So let's just do the same with this. Let's just whiz round with the ink. So yeah, I'm sorry that this is going to be such a long process, but you know, that's because it actually is a long process. Making one of these Flippy Flappies is not for the faint-hearted. I think I'm going to have to glue that again. Let's put the lid back on there this time. Come on. Oh, there's Catkin at the back window. Wants to come in. He's liking this better weather. I mean, it's still quite cool out there, but it's pleasant. He doesn't like the cold and the wet much. He goes out and comes straight back in. There we go, that's lovely. And just tie that same as I tied the other one. Well, same as I attempt to tie the other one. There we go. It's possibly a bit long that, but it'll be fine. Trim those ends off. I always try and get them not symmetrical. Different lengths is what I'm trying to say. There we go, and that slides in there nicely. Sits along there, and we've got those two lovely tags there, which really are lovely, and they just take any plainness that might have been. We could, if we wanted, add something to there, you know, I don't know, something like that. Where's the other one of those? This one. Like that. I'm not sure which way they go. That way, I think. But it detracts from these, I think. So I'll leave that till the final look through, and we'll think then, do we want to add anything or not? So this brings us on to here. So I need to find a piece of card or a piece of something in here. Well, those light flowery ones are nice, aren't they? I think I quite like that actually. That goes quite nicely on there. It stands out. Okay, let's have that then. Oh, it's the back of the front cover. Let's let's just check there's nothing I can use on there. Not really. Not really. So let's use that then. Stamperia paper is brilliant. I love it. I love it so much. So that's what we're going to use for our 2 frames for our butterflies. So let's measure this and see. If I had a ruler, I would. Come on, Timmy, where are you hiding now? Problem is he's clear. He could do with being some... I could dye him with some alcohol ink. That might be a good thing to do. So this in total measures just light of 8 inches. So if I made each one 3... 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that would be about right. Make each one 3 inches tall by, this measures 3.5, so 2 3/4. Yeah, 3.5 by 2 3/4. Let me write that down because you all know that I'm going to forget that. 3.5 by 2 3/4, and I want 2 of them. Right, so let's trim this then at 2 3/4. I think will preserve most paper. 2 3/4. That doesn't look very much. Let me just redouble my attempt. I could probably get away with 3, but where's my butterflies? Here. Are they going to fit in there? It's going to be tight. Yeah, I'm going to up this to 3. I can trim it later if it really doesn't fit. So 3 by 3.5. So I need 2 that are 3.5. Three and a half. Lovely. Right. Let's just give this a bit of a trial for size. Oh yeah, that's fine. What were you worried about? And they're going to fit in there very nicely. And just add to the decoration. Nothing going on with these apart from pure decoration. So if you want to just stick a piece of ephemera on, that's fine. That, you know, you don't have to do anything else. It's just me. I like flapping around with stuff. As if you've followed me, you'll know that why make something easy if I could make it complicated. Right, so what I'm going to do is turn these over to the wrong side, and I'm going to make a frame. Now, these butterflies have got to fit in it. So yeah, I'm going to make the frame half. I've lost one of my butterflies already, but never mind. I'm going to make it 1/2 inch in and draw a pencil line around. All the way, 1/2 inch on all sides. And I'm going to do them separately because anytime I've ever stacked these one on top of the other and tried to cut them, that way leads disaster. As far as I'm concerned, they end up not straight and square and whatever. So, right, there's my lines. I've got my scalpel out. And if you're not used to using a scalpel, please take care. You need to use the other side. The square side on the Timmy ruler has got a metal edge to it. So always use that if you're cutting using a scalpel. So there we are. Because we put the lines in, I can see where that corner is. And where this corner is. So I'll just go down there a couple of times. Turn it round. Does all seem like a bit of a fuss. Yes, I'll grant you that. But you know, we like making journals, so we like all the fuss. Don't we? So that, in theory, should fall out. Okay, nearly. It's always the corners. There, that's fine, that's nice. I'll keep that, you never know when you might need it. So let's just have a little check that everything's going to be okay. That's going to go there, that's going to go there. Right, so as you can see, the next thing is that you can't actually see that butterfly very well. It's not really standing out that well there. So what I want to do is put a piece of white paper behind it. I'll stamp on it, just as I did with the bits, these bits. But I can't leave it just on there. It's just lost, it gets lost. So let's make a start. I'll just do one, then I'll do the other one off camera. Let's ink first before we do anything. Seem to be quite a long way off the table today. That's better, isn't it? Don't know why I was sitting so far back. So don't only ink around the outside of this, ink around the inside too. And if you don't, you'll notice when you put it together that you haven't. It's one of those really noticeable things. And it's such an easy thing to forget to ink around the inside. I'm always doing it, and then you live to regret it. So just ink inside and out before we go on to anything else. There we go. Lovely, so that's inked around. Oh look, I've even got a colour coordinated cutting mat. Incredible. Right, I just want an ordinary piece. This is just copier paper. And I'm just going to stick my frame down onto there. But before I do, I'm going to just stamp. So I'm just going to make a little mark where I need my stamping to stop. So inside that, I need to stamp. So what did I do with it? Here it is. And this time I'm going to use the whole force of it. I'm not going to stamp off first. I'm going to use first generation stamping. So it's just a background. We're just making a background. That's all. That's probably sufficient, I would say. Let's have a look and see. That's so much nicer. It stands out so much better. I like that a lot. So the thing to do is put our acetate on the back of here first. There's so many steps when you're doing this. I mean, there just is. There's no way around it. So get your acetate, lie it on top of your frame. Get your Sharpie or fine liner or something of the sort. There's my fine liner. That'll do me nicely. Draw a line where you want that to, where you want to cut it, which is there. Cut that out. Let's go and let Catkin in a minute. It's got a cheesed off expression. Oh dear, cats can't have cheesed off expressions. Honestly, he's like having a dog. He plays fetch. He's just like a dog. He's very demanding of your time. I've never known a cat like him, to be honest. And I've had loads of cats. I've always had cats throughout my life. There we are. I had a lovely cat called Smokey on one occasion. She was a beautiful girl. She was really smoky. Her fur was a lovely smoky colour. Right, so the next thing I need to do is work out... That's not the right thing. This is the right thing. I need to work out where my butterfly is going. I think probably about there, but we'll see. Yeah. Right about there. So let's just take that away, and I'm just going to make a little pencil mark just at the top there, like that, so I know where to place him. And I'm going to very, very lightly just go around him with a bit of ink, just to hide that white edge when you cut it. There we are, and then we can glue him into place. Yeah, Smokey, yes. She came to the door. Well, she didn't come to the door. I heard her in the front porch, actually. And when I went to look, there she was. And she looked a right mess. She really did. So I got her in. I got her something to eat. She wasn't really interested in anything to eat, to be honest. And then, oh yeah, I should tell you first of all, it was April the 1st, so it was All Fool's Day. And she went behind one of the chairs in the lounge, and there was this awful noise. I mean, absolutely awful noise. Let me just tell you that I'm going to stick that down over there and then cut them both out together. So, and I went to look to see what on earth was wrong with the poor little girl. And she had produced 3 kittens. On April Fool's Day, yes, nice trick. Now put them back. But, yeah, they lived with us for, ages and ages and ages, years and years. And she was a beautiful girl. She really was. There we are. So let's just put that right in the corner of that paper. And then we can just trim that down. There we go. So that's pretty, isn't it? Just cut around the frame. And we have a little acetate window. Just for decoration. Just have not trimmed that square. That's it. Yeah, just for decoration purposes. And that's going to go there. And I'll make another one pretty similar, if not identical, to go there. And then we've got 2. I could make that a pocket, couldn't I, and put a card in there? No, be sensible. So the other thing I'm going to do is stitch around the outside, and that's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to do the other one, and then I'll join you again. I'm just going to waft round there with my ink again, just to catch that white paper, because you'd be surprised how things like that stick out and really irritate you. There we are. So I'm going to make another one and stitch around them both, and then I'll see you back here. Right, well, I have stuck them, glued them, done everything. I did, however, swap out the other butterfly that was the same as that for a different one that I'd fussy cut out already. So just There you go, you can see it now. So we've got two lovely framed acetate things, you know what I mean. But it just seemed too much of an opportunity to put a little card in behind there for just that extra little bit of journaling, just instead of pretty. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick these on, and then I'm going to go and look for something that I can use behind it as a journaling card. So yeah, I think about there is nice. So I'm going to leave this side open, and it's stitched down, so we should be okay. It shouldn't split up or anything. When you push cards in and out, it should be all right. Yeah, I just thought I just can't stick those straight down. You know, when I was saying to you before, it's really nice outside and Catkin likes being outside. I just looked out the window, and it's snowing. It's absolutely snowing. How ridiculous is that? Yeah, I mean, it's sleet probably more than snow, but, you know, snowy-fied. So that's going to go about there. Let's just budge it that way a little bit. So I've got a little space here for a pull or something. Let's push that down, get my towel out. And put some clips on the front corners, because it's bending and they don't want to clip, so they don't want to clip. They're getting clipped. They don't want to stay down because there's a bend on this. So let's just put some clips where I can reach. Don't know if these little ones will reach this bottom edge. They might. No, I'll have to get the big clips out, which means I've got to move my drawer all the way out. Oh my goodness me. There we go. Let's just put these on the bottom. It's gone really dark as well. Honestly, I don't know what's up with the weather. Right, so now this one wants to get stuck onto there as well. About there, I would say. Like that. Yes, that's looking nice. Yeah, why would you do something straightforward if you don't have to? If you can go a convoluted way around it by adding stuff, why would you not? That's a good question. And a Flippy Flappy journal, it's all about what you add. That's what makes it. So, you know, let's add an extra journaling card. It's not going to take forever. Right, let's get that lined up with that one, so it looks somewhat square. Ooh, come back. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think we're all right there. Oh, this doesn't want to stick at all. I don't know why. Let's put some clips on it. Let's clip it to death. Clip the front corners. Way. And then get some of the longer clips out that are conveniently stored right at the back of this drawer. No idea why. And we'll clip this, and then we'll give some pressure to the other bit that we can't reach with clips. There we go. Just make sure that's pressed down firmly. And that's pretty, isn't it? That's a pretty little pocket. I'm liking this purple. I must say, I really am liking it. I thought it was going to be just a means to an end, just to show you how to make the thing, but I'm really loving it. So now what I need to do is get some card, probably the original paper pad, I think, because it's thicker, and make a couple of journaling cards for there. Do I want a tab on it? Probably. Okay, so right, I'm going to have to do a bit of experimentation here and see how far. I'm going to use my envelope punch board. Come on, you. It's actually beginning to get quite hefty, which is great. I want to see how deep this makes tabs, and then I can allow for it when I cut it. So, right, you cut either side of it and then you're left with a tab. So what does that measure? Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see. It measures 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch. So whatever the card is, it needs an additional, an additional 1/4 inch to allow for that tab. So let's find some paper to use. What have I got that I've already used? I've got the hearts. They're nice. And that, well, that's the pocket, so I won't use, I'll use the hearts. And they're plain on the back, so you can journal on that. Excellent. 2 birds, 1 stone. Right, so we know that's 3.5, but there's the glue to allow for. So it probably wants to be between 2 3/4 and 3, I would say. Between 2 3/4 and 3. Okay, will that fit in my Timmy? Will it, heck? So let's get the big chopper out. I want to do it that way. So I want it between 2 3/4 and 3. That is my measurement for you. I know it sounds a bit strange, but I think that's right. Gosh, that looks a bit small, doesn't it? Let's bring this over and see what we think. No, I think that's probably about right. By the time you've allowed for all the glue and everything in there, I think that's probably going to be fine. And allowing for the glue there, and then the 1/4 inch for the tab, I think it's going to be, I need to put my cutting mat away, I don't know what it's doing now still. That is, it's about just a whisker over 3 inches actually. 3 1/8, I think. Let's get this cutting mat put away. Get back to my proper media mat with measurements that I understand. Right, so I'm going to cut that where I made the pencil mark. And then this one, I'm going to make a mark again and cut it there. There we go. Right. I'm going to have to risk taking those clips off and see if these actually fit. Let's take them off this one first. Oh, television's just sprung into life. I think you can only pause it for so long, then it takes a fit. So do you want to fit into there? Yes, very nicely. And just a bit. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And it looks like it's stuck well as well, which is great. So I'm going to take both of my cards and I'm going to use my envelope punch board. I'm just thinking that's the way I want them to be. So I need to put my tab on this side. So I'm going to put it right up to the 0, to the centre of my envelope punch board. And punch and turn it over, and I'll go for 1 1/4. 1 1/4. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm going to do the other one while I remember the measurements. I know there's only one, but you know, I can easily forget things. 1 1/4, 1 1/4. There we go. Right, so they should be fine. I've just put my cutting mat away and I need the blessed thing again. Oh no, I better get it out. So I'm just going to take the steel rule side of my Timmy ruler and draw a straight line, hopefully, with my scalpel. So I'm going to get one of the lines lined up on the bottom with the ruler and then just cut that out. And this one hopefully will be as painless. If they're still a bit long, that's alright, I can cut some off the other end. Because they might be just a touch long. But we'll see where we're going with them. Put this away. Okay, so that's going to go in there like that. Yeah, it's still, you can see it's still a touch too long, so that needs to get clipped off, trimmed off, should I say. Let's try this one. Oh, that feels much shorter. Why is it doing that? Let's stick something down there. See if it's just the glue caught on something. Ah, yeah. Did you hear it come off? Sometimes that just happens. That's it. That wants to go in all the way. So that wants to go in all the way and this one doesn't. Okay, let's stick this in. My cure-all tool for everything. Awkward. No, it still doesn't want to go all the way. It's just a little fraction, too long. So that's okay. We have the way to cure that. We'll cut a bit off there. And I'd rather cut 2 little pieces than 1 big piece and it'd be too much. So let's try this for size. So closely there, but it's quite tight. So I'm just going to take another little fraction off that. Pretty sure we'll be there by now. Yeah, look at that. So I hope you can see that we've got 2 little tabs, and that's what all that fussing was about. But it's the details that make it. So let's take those cards out. I'm guessing one's going to be longer than the other. Yeah, by a little bit, but you know, Just remember that the longer one goes in the top, for me anyway. Yours might be different. Let's ink around those. Then we'll put a little something hanging off that tab, but I don't know what. Don't know what yet. But it is just another little journaling opportunity, and they're never to be sniffed at. So we created a little bit of work for ourselves, but created some more journaling space, so you can't have it always. Right, so what am I going to have hanging off these? Good question, Miss P, a very good question. Have I got anything there that's little? No, not really. Have I got anything? We had some butterflies, didn't we, in here? They might be just small and just the job. Where are they? Oh, there's one. And a really nice heart. Oh, I'm trying to pick that up and it's stuck on. And there's another butterfly there. Yeah. And there's another heart. There's a smaller heart. I don't know if I've got two of those. Let's see. If I've got two of those, that's what I'm going to use, but I'm not convinced I have. This is why I wanted 2 packs, but they let me down. Lentil soup for lunch today, made by Mr. F's own fair hand. He is good. Right, no, we've got 3 butterflies, 1 little heart and 2 large hearts. So let's see what looks acceptable. We don't want anything too big because it's just going to swamp the whole thing. So let's put that in there, like that. And I could have one of these butterflies hanging off it. That would look okay. I could probably have one of those small hearts. But the big hearts, they're just too big. Right, I'm gonna use the butterflies. Is what I'm gonna use. So let's put those back in there. And I need to make holes in my tabs, holes in the butterflies. So I want the hole to be down towards the bottom, about there. So it's safely in from the sides. And I'm just going to use the small hole again. It's blocked up with something, whatever I cut the last time. Get those together, the tabs lying together like that. Cut through them both. Wow, it's quite dark in here now. There we are, so they're in sufficiently from the edge. Now then, I need to make a hole in these butterflies. I'm going to make it there. I'm going to aim for that black bit on its wing, actually. That looks like a good bit to aim for. Ooh, good job the chipboard, because that was pretty close to the edge. I can tell you, a bit too close to the edge. In actuality. There we go. Right. So that's that. So I'm just going to tie those with that same white twine as I used before. So through the butterfly. I just like having things dangling. I'm in a dangly phase at the moment. I'm going to have to glue this end of this together or I won't be able to get it through. So through the butterfly, ugh, that's still not. And then through the hole in the card. in the tab there. Lovely. And then we'll just tie that. So I haven't given it a really long dangle, but long enough, definitely long enough. Don't want it dangling everywhere. Dangling out of control. We don't want that. There we go. So yeah, you're getting the hang of how long this this procedure is going to be of making this journal. It's going to be a while. Which is the longer one? Longer one is the top, so let's pop that one in at the top. Leave that dangling outside. There we go. Oh, that's lovely. I like that. It's nice. Let's just pull that through a bit. There we go. That's better. Right, so same again. Glue the end together. That's fine. Through the butterfly. Nearly burst into song there, but you'd be so glad I didn't. Through the hole in the tab. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Lovely. Pull that through and then just tie your knot. Oh, I will be so pleased when this thumbnail grows back in. It's not painful or anything, it's just has no feeling in it. There we are. That might be a bit shorter than the other one, it really doesn't matter. Trim the ends off. And I want to pull that through like that and then pop it where it's going. There we go. How pretty is that? And so worth the effort. Definitely so worth the effort. I'll hold it up for you so you can see. And make your own mind up whether you're going to do that or not. I just think it adds another layer of loveliness. Even if it is another 2 hours to make it. Okay then guys, I'm going to leave it there today. Give you a chance to get everything that you're doing decorated up. Your books made, your envelopes made, your acetate windows made, etc, etc. So you've got a chance to be up to date. And then the next time you join me, we'll build on this section that goes here. The right hand section. Okay, so have a nice day everybody. I hope that I'm making sense. Who knows, eh? In the long run we'll see. If you are doing it and you're a member of my group, please post your pictures so I can see what you're up to. I'd love to see. And failing that, I'll join you very, very soon for the right hand section. Thanks everybody. Bye bye.